Growing your own food doesn't mean you need to spend your entire weekend digging in dirt. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't even need a big backyard. In fact, some of the fastest crops you can grow take just days to harvest, and you can do it right inside your kitchen. Stick around, because I'm about to show you exactly how to turn your home into a mini farm, starting today. If you're watching Backyard Crops for the first time, please smash that subscribe button. We're building a community of people who love growing food the easy way, and I'd love to have you join us. Don't forget to like this video and drop a comment telling me which crop you're most excited to try. Let's get growing.
Section 1. The Windowsill Powerhouse. Microgreens. One of the simplest ways to grow nutritious food is through microgreens. These tiny greens pack enormous nutrition into a small package, and honestly, they're my #1 recommendation for beginners. When you buy microgreens at the store, you're spending serious money for just a handful. But here's what most people don't realize. You can grow these exact same greens at home for just pennies, and you'll harvest them in roughly 7 to 10 days. The magic behind microgreens is that they're not special seeds at all. They're simply regular vegetable seeds that you harvest when they're about 2 inches tall. At this stage, they're absolutely loaded with nutrients and enzymes that haven't formed in the mature plant yet. It's concentrated nutrition in bite-sized form. The best part? You don't need any fancy gardening setup. Your kitchen windowsill is perfect. You don't need expensive grow lights. You don't need greenhouse equipment. You just need a sunny window, some soil, seeds, and water. Even an indirect light window works wonderfully. That's the kind of simplicity that makes gardening enjoyable instead of stressful. Now let's talk about containers, because this is where it gets fun and creative. Look around your house. That orange juice carton you were about to throw away? Perfect. Those takeout containers from restaurants? Even better. Save those mashed potato containers from the grocery store. Cut some drainage holes in the bottom, fill them with soil, and you've got a growing container. I've used small bowls, coffee cups, muffin tins, and shallow trays. The beauty is there are no rules here. When you're ready to plant, pre-moisten your soil first. Use a good seed starting mix because it's finely textured and lets seeds germinate easily. Spread your seeds across the soil surface fairly densely. Remember, you want a thick carpet of greens. Don't worry about spacing or measuring precisely. Sprinkle just a light layer of soil over the top so the seeds are barely covered. Give everything a gentle mist with water. You've got options for which microgreens to grow. Tatsoi mustard provides a peppery flavor. Red Russian kale brings nutrition and taste to winter dishes. Radish microgreens are crispy and snappy. Basil adds aromatic notes. Fennel brings something unexpected and delicious. Sunflower shoots are nutty and crunchy. Mix different varieties in the same tray if you want variety in one harvest. Within 3 to 5 days, you'll see the seeds pushing through the soil. Keep the soil consistently moist during this germination phase. By day 7 to 10, you'll be ready to harvest. Simply cut the microgreens with scissors right at the soil line or pinch them off with your fingers. They're ready to go directly into salads, sandwiches, soups, or as toppings for practically any meal. The watering becomes automatic if you use self-watering spike systems. Insert the spike into your soil, place the wicking cord into a jar of water nearby, and the water travels up the cord and waters your plants without you doing anything. You can adjust the water flow with a dial. Leave for a week and come back to perfectly watered microgreens. This invention changed my entire approach to indoor gardening. One more creative option. Grow microgreens in a coffee cup or teacup without even punching drainage holes. These small containers are perfect for desk growing or kitchen counter displays. The soil holds water naturally, and you get beautiful greens in minimal space.
Section 2. Outdoor fast-growing greens. Most gardeners think November means the gardening season is over, but that's not true at all. There are greens that absolutely thrive in cooler weather. Some varieties actually taste sweeter after a light frost. The key is selecting varieties that grow incredibly quickly so you can harvest before deep winter arrives. Plant arugula and mustard greens directly into prepared garden beds. These are the fastest growing greens available. Plant them densely so you get a thick carpet of leaves.
Just a week after planting, you'll see them sprouting and filling in beautifully. Before planting, you don't need to amend your soil heavily. Sometimes I just add a soil nutrient boost to help what's already in the ground work more effectively. That's genuinely it. Plant, water, and watch them grow. Cover young seedlings with tulle fabric to protect against birds that might pick at the seeds. Once they're established, the tulle can come off. The greens will grow into a dense patch that birds find less interesting to disturb anyway. Start harvesting within 2 weeks. Cut the smallest greens first, about 2 inches long, for microgreen style snacks. This thinning actually helps the remaining plants grow larger. As space opens up, the remaining plants develop into full-sized greens, perfect for salads and cooking. For watering, don't complicate it. A simple microsprayer attached to your regular garden hose works perfectly. You get gentle water coverage without the hassle of hand watering every day. Even in winter, these greens need consistent moisture to thrive. Most of these greens handle temperatures down to around 20 degrees Fahrenheit. If you live in a colder region, create a simple protective cover using garden stakes and an old tarp. On cold nights, drape the tarp over your greens to trap warmth. On sunny days, remove it so plants don't overheat. Add some bricks around the edges to hold the tarp down. These outdoor greens don't take much space either. A bed that's 2 by 3 feet produces an enormous amount of fresh greens all season. Even container gardening works if you don't have ground space. A large pot or bucket can yield constant harvests. When birds or other critters eat your seeds before they sprout, simply replant. That's the wonderful part about fast crops. Within a week, you've got fresh greens coming up again. There's no waiting around, no long season, just quick replanting and quick results.
Section 3. Zero-effort kitchen scrap gardening. This is genuinely the easiest gardening method I know, and honestly, it might be your favorite too. If you eat celery, lettuce, or green onions, you're throwing away the beginnings of an infinite garden. Take the root end of any lettuce head, the part you normally compost. Fill a jar with an inch or 2 of water. Place the lettuce bottom in the water. That's your entire setup. Within days, you'll see new leaves sprouting from the center and tiny root hairs forming on the bottom. The lettuce essentially reboots itself. Romaine lettuce does this brilliantly. In just 4 days, new edible leaves emerge from the center. You can harvest these tender inner leaves and add them directly to salads. They're tender, mild, and absolutely fresh. Keep the jar in any location in your kitchen. It doesn't need sunlight. Your kitchen sink counter is perfect. Green onions are even more amazing because they grow for months. You can keep harvesting and they keep producing. Anytime you want fresh green onion flavor, snip some off and add to your food. Salads, tacos, omelets, soups, grain bowls. Anywhere you want that mild onion flavor, these deliver. The best part? They take up just a small corner of your counter space. You can grow multiple jars simultaneously. Celery works the same way. That thick white base you cut off and discard, that grows new celery. I've grown celery plants from grocery store celery for multiple years. One purchase becomes endless greens. Here's the important maintenance detail. Change the water every couple of days. This prevents rotting at the base of your plants. Always use just enough water to touch the bottom of your plant, roughly an inch or 2. Too much water causes rot on the upper parts. Too little water means your plant dries out. That small amount is the sweet spot. Sometimes the scrap will rot. That's fine. It happens. Toss it into the compost and grab another celery head or lettuce from your next grocery trip. The beauty of this method is that there's zero pressure. Your food scraps are free, so there's nothing to waste or feel bad about. When spring arrives, you can transplant these rooted cuttings directly into your garden soil. They'll establish themselves quickly and grow into mature plants. That celery you started in winter becomes your summer garden plant. It's magical watching something go from kitchen scrap to garden harvest.
Section 4, Herb Propagation, the Perpetual Harvest. Growing herbs from seed in November is too slow and unnecessary. Instead, grab herbs that already exist in your garden or buy small plants from a nursery. Clip cuttings and root them in water on your kitchen windowsill. Mint and basil are the easiest herbs to propagate. These develop roots within 7 to 10 days, sometimes faster. Once rooted, they'll grow continuously on your kitchen sill all winter long. You harvest constantly, and they keep producing more leaves. These two practically grow themselves. Oregano, rosemary, lavender, and sage are more challenging because they root more slowly, usually taking around 14 to 20 days. But even though they're rooting, you're still harvesting leaves to use in your cooking. Don't wait for full rooting to enjoy them. Fresh oregano leaves on pasta during the rooting period taste incredible. Sage adds warmth to winter soups. Rosemary flavors roasted vegetables beautifully. Lavender brings unexpected notes to teas and desserts. The process is simple. Cut healthy stem sections about 4 to 6 inches long. Remove the lower leaves. Place the stem in a jar with an inch or 2 of water. Set it on your kitchen windowsill. Change the water every few days to prevent bacterial growth and rotting. Over time, tiny white root nubs appear at the bottom of the stems. These grow longer and more numerous. Eventually, you have a rooted cutting ready to plant into soil if you want. But many people just leave them in water indefinitely. They keep producing and you keep harvesting. The advantage of water propagation is that you see exactly when roots develop. There's no guesswork, no wondering if anything is happening underground. You watch the entire process happening right before your eyes.
Section 5. Fixing nutrient problems and keeping everything healthy. Sometimes greens start looking pale or yellowish, and that means they're hungry for nutrients. If you notice yellowing leaves appearing on your greens, add a nutrient boost to help them green up quickly. Your soil already contains nutrients, but a little addition helps plants access what's there and create vibrant color. For yellowing microgreens or outdoor greens, a simple iron boost works wonders. You'll see color returning within days. Greens transform from pale to deep and vibrant. The difference is really visible and dramatic. With kitchen scrap plants, yellowing means your water needs changing more frequently. Bacteria and minerals build up that stress the plant. Fresh water usually brings them back to health quickly. The beauty of all these fast-growing methods is that you don't wait long enough for major problems to develop. Within 7 to 20 days, you're harvesting and eating, so problems rarely have time to take hold. Section 6. Expanding your November growing setup. Now that you understand these basic methods, you can expand them however you want. Layer multiple trays of microgreens so you get rolling harvests. Start new outdoor beds every couple of weeks for continuous outdoor greens. Fill every jar in your cabinet with different herbs and scrap plants. Some people create entire indoor salad bars using combinations of all these methods. One shelf holds microgreen trays. The next shelf down has herb propagations. The counter has kitchen scrap jars. You end up with fresh greens at every stage of growth, so you're harvesting something constantly. Others focus on just one method that feels most manageable. Maybe microgreens are your main thing and you keep a single jar of green onions going for fun. There's no pressure to do everything. Start with what interests you most. The beautiful thing about November planting is that you're starting a habit that can continue year-round. Winter greens transition into spring greens. Spring plants grow into summer gardens. By next November, you'll be an expert. Section 7. Why November is perfect for starting. November catches people in a weird mindset where they think gardening is over for the year. Honestly, it's the best time to prove that wrong. When everyone else is not gardening, you're producing fresh greens from your kitchen and garden. When it's cold and dark outside, you're eating food you grew yourself. The weather helps because these greens actually prefer cooler temperatures. They grow slower in summer heat, but November through March is their prime growing season. You're working with nature instead of against it. Starting now means you have greens ready in November and December during the holidays. Fresh homegrown salads for holiday dinners. Fresh microgreens as toppings. Herbs that taste incredible in winter comfort foods. You're not buying those expensive, pre-made, packaged greens at the store.
you're making them in your kitchen. Section 8. The mental shift. Easy gardening for everyone. I talk to people who say they're not gardeners because they don't want to spend all day working. They think gardening means heavy soil work, planning, complicated systems, and constant maintenance. That's one kind of gardening, but it's not the only kind. The methods I've shared today prove that gardening can be genuinely easy. You can grow food without ever getting dirt under your fingernails if you don't want to. You can garden while wearing nice clothes. You can manage everything from your kitchen countertop. This approach removes the intimidation factor that keeps people from trying. You don't need to commit to a huge garden or complex systems. You need a jar of water and some lettuce scraps. That's genuinely the entry point for many people who then gradually expand from there. Some people grow microgreens on their desk at work. Others keep herb propagations going in dorm rooms. Apartment dwellers use their windowsills. There's no situation where growing food is impossible.
Section 9. Troubleshooting and common questions. What if your microgreens get moldy? Usually, this means too much moisture. Let the soil surface dry out slightly between mistings. Improve air circulation by setting them in front of a fan if you have one. What if your kitchen scrap plants start looking weak? Change the water more frequently. Use fresh water from your tap. Sometimes a plant is just tired and needs composting, but usually, fresh water revives them immediately. What if you forget to water your outdoor greens? They're more forgiving than indoor plants because rain provides moisture. But when there's no rain, those micro sprayers or simple hand watering become important. Even a quick daily spray keeps them thriving. What if nothing germinates in your microgreen tray? Check that your seeds are fresh. Old seeds have low germination rates. Make sure you're keeping the soil consistently moist but not waterlogged during germination. Usually, it's one of these two issues. What if you want to grow microgreens but don't have a sunny window? Grow lights aren't required, but they do help. Microgreens will grow with indirect light, just more slowly. With a cheap grow light, they'll grow more vigorously and look more green. The choice is yours based on what you have available. Section 10. Building your November growing routine. Create a simple schedule. Monday is microgreen planting day. Friday is outdoor green watering day. Wednesday is herb cutting and water changing day. It doesn't have to be complicated. Even just mentally noting what needs attention keeps everything growing smoothly. Keep a jar of water sitting next to your kitchen sink for your herb propagations. Every time you're there washing dishes, you can check them. It becomes automatic rather than something you have to remember. Store your microgreen seeds together so they're easy to grab when you want to plant. Keep soil in a sealed container near your trowing trays. Set up your watering supplies in one location. Simple organization means you're more likely to actually do it. Tell your family what you're growing so they're excited about the fresh food coming. Kids especially love watching microgreens grow so fast. Herb propagations become conversation starters. Kitchen scrap plants inspire people to think about waste differently. Closing. Your growing journey starts now. You now have everything you need to start growing food this November. You have 5 different methods, ranging from incredibly simple to slightly more involved. You can pick one that appeals to you or try all of them. Thank you so much for watching Backyard Crops with me today. Before you leave, please smash that subscribe button so you don't miss upcoming growing videos. Your subscription helps us grow this channel and reach more people who want to grow their own food. Leave a comment telling me which method you're most interested in trying. Do you want to start with microgreens on your windowsill? Are you thinking about kitchen scrap gardening? I read every single comment and love hearing what you plan to grow. Share this video with someone who you think would love growing food at home. Your friends and family might be waiting for exactly this kind of permission to start gardening. Most importantly, go plant something this week. You're not going to regret it. Growing your own food is one of the most rewarding things you can do for yourself and your family. It doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. It can be simple, quick, and absolutely delicious. I'm Adam Grove, and I see you in the garden. Thanks for watching Backyard Crops, and we'll catch you next time.